Hello and welcome to the new video. Today we're going to take a look at the newly released Araquanid in the Go Battle League, or basically here in some friendly battles, as we have to try it out of course in the Great League, as it's basically only viable in the Great League. So yeah, we're gonna have to take a look here at some friendlies. I asked on Twitter again if some people are on my friend list can just battle me with their best teams, and here we go. First match here we have a Salazzle, which is kind of interesting. Salazzle, of course, a very rare Pokemon, but our Stunfisk can do a good job here as they go into the Trevenant, as they go into the Walrein. One thing that I actually noticed from the all the qualifiers and whatever which we see on Twitch right now for the Global Championship there is that if you hit a return against a Walrein, you can just farm this thing down, which is really cool, which I didn't know prior. Like, just go for a return with your Sableye and you're fine, as we farm down on my opponent there, and we can go for another foul play anyway, as we most likely gonna be able to finish off this match with the Araquanid anyway. So yeah, we have I think 8 matches here. Of course, like early in the morning, most people on my friend list are from America. Like, I don't get that many requests, so we have 8 battles here, which already shows like I hadn't had a single battle here which was like against the meme team or anything like this. Like, they were all serious teams, and here you see how much a Shadow Ball does. Of course, you see the IV spread on the right side of the screen. My Araquanid is not the best possible IV spread, as yeah, like, it was very rare, to be honest, in my area. I don't know if it's different for other people, but in my area, in the first 45 minutes, I found 3. And like 2 from quest, but like in total then 5, but 3 in the wild. And I was walking the entire way through my city, nothing in the nearby and nothing anywhere else. And I actually had like my first one, the first second, and like afterwards, like for 20 minutes, nothing, which was insane. I think now it's better. I think the first hour is just a little bit bugged. I think like when the spawns that are already there change to the new spawns, maybe like it's not that many of the Dewpider, like afterwards, after the first hour was gone, it looked better, to be honest, for me. So maybe just like wait 1 hour until you go out for having the best experience with that, if you want to go out for a certain time anyway. But yeah, like Dewpider definitely is something that you want to take a look at. I first thought this thing is not as good as it is, but it's really depending on if you can get it on the right matchup. And this means basically one thing, that you can only play Araquanid as the lead or the closer in Go Battle League, as everything else, like it's only like the Say Swap, which is basically the other thing. Like everything else, like you wouldn't be really happy with this thing because it has some hard counters, like extreme hard counters. Of course, you have, for example, for the best Say Swap, which in my opinion is Sableye, which you also use in this team, also the hard counter of Charmeezers, but like Charmeezers are very rare. And for the Araquanid, for example, you have the hard counter of Registeel, but also the hard counter of something like, I don't know, Pelipper would completely hard counter you. You would get hard countered by Skarmory, by Altaria. Like, there are a lot of metas Pokemon that you really don't want to face. And I think the team that I built here is basically the best possible team around it. Like, honestly, I think there is next to no flaw about it. I also went, spoiler alert, 8-0 with this against my people from the friend list. And yeah, like, it worked out perfectly. Like, not gonna lie, it worked out really, really good. Registeel kind of went away thanks to the Registeel, but also means that a lot of people are not really prepared for like G-Fisk, which is in general a good thing here. Like, you want G-Fisk in the lead, you kind of have to have it in the lead, because you're still gonna beat the Registeel with G-Fisk, but also do some damage against, like, I don't know, some Pokemon that you really don't want to face with the Registeel. For example, a Talonflame. Talonflame, you still have the Rock Slide for it, while Registeel only gets to the Zap Cannon very, very late. So Talonflame also hard counter to the Araquanid, even though you are a water type, but you don't have Bubble, thanks Niantic. The other thing here with this team is you kind of need to get out the Flying type, as Flying types completely hardware you. Here we have the Scummy, for example, perfectly aligned on our Pokemon. This match was actually really weird because my opponent just decided to not throw a single charge move with their Scummy. I don't know what they wanted to do here, but it's fine. But yeah, like, you want to get out the Flying type, so having the Say Swap of the Sableye while having a lead that completely hardwalls the Flying types, I think you're in a good spot. Also, something that hardwalls your Araquanid would be the Bastion, which you also kind of would get out with the Sableye Say Swap there. My opponent just surrenders there, good game there. But yeah, like, there is some This team just works really, really well. This is actually here the first battle that we had against me. Like, it's of course not in order again, which is always the case when I render my videos for whatever reason. My program just decides not to do that. And we're gonna bait here in the first time with the rock slide. Of course, this will not work. Good job by my opponent here by actually like not shielding this. But because we baited the first time, we're also gonna bait the second time, going for another rock slide, gonna get the shield again. And you know what, we're gonna go for the third time again, because yeah, I just like my rock slides, I guess, and if we bait twice, we also have to bait a third time, and here we go with the rock slide again. But still, my opponent always like denied me and always like got their move through, which means now they get to the move still in time. I think I would have been able to, like in general, to win this matchup otherwise still, because I didn't like baited him like so many times, but I'm not sure. But it doesn't really matter, as we can go for one more move here with our Sableye. As the Sableye gonna be able to KO the Stunfisk, and we see the Pelipper coming in here. And again, Pelipper is one of those Pokemon where you can just go for one return and this thing gonna be gone. Yeah, like this thing doesn't have the best bulk anymore. Sadly, like Pelipper really got hurt by the Weather Ball debuff, which really made it worse. But yeah, it's still kinda in the meta nowadays for like those originals, but we see the Trevenant coming in here. We know already one Shadow Ball doesn't do enough to even get us into like a farm down range or anything, so we can go for the Bug Buzz, and the boy gonna be able to just completely destroy this thing. Very cool thing. Actually, I already have the shiny Lapras, by the way, with the tie thingy. I did like 2 raids in the evening or like in the night yesterday when it was like released first, and I get like the thing at the second try or something. That was kind of insane. Here we have a Swampert against us now. Of course, in the lead it's kind of difficult, but my opponent just stays in here, which is amazing for me, as they're gonna actually let this go, which means now I'm gonna shield this move up, as I already showed in the video. Nowadays, Earthquake on Swampert is kind of a viable move, but he goes for the Hydro Cannon here, which of course does still a lot of damage, which we're now gonna see how much it actually does, but we have him very, very low. And the best thing here is we get out the Skarmory, which we really don't want to face with our Araquanid in the back, as we're just gonna farm up extra energy. We go into our Stunfisk, and now we have this thing aligned against the Flying type, which is amazing, as they go for the Brave Bird, which of course does a lot of damage. I don't really want them to get to another move here, as we go for another Rock Slide, and this Rock Slide gonna be able to KO him if they don't want to shield, and they're never gonna shield here anyway. So yeah, we're looking pretty good, but they have the Ascav in the back, and I just go straight for the nuke, which was in the hindsight not the best idea there, as I should have just went for the damage with the Rock Slide, but we still get some damage from the Rock Slide of him anyway. As we can go now into the Sableye, get the Foul Play off, and we should be able to get the last shield here, but it can Araquanid, which has only like resisted moves, to win against the Ascav still. Ascav has access to, for example, Mega Horn, or also the Acid Spray, which would be interesting if they would run it, but also something like the Aerial Ace, and they go for the Drill Run Baiters, and I was like, okay, they're gonna hit me now with the Mega Horn, that's not really cool. So here comes the Drill Run again, which is weird, as this does no damage. As they're gonna swap out in their Swampert, I can just KO them with one Bubble Beam, and there's nothing they can do anymore, as we can just farm them all the way down with the Bug Bite damage. And Araquanid again as a closer is amazing right now. We see the next opponent, as we see Sableye in the lead here, which we just swap out immediately into my Sableye, because I was like, okay, all my Pokemon are good against it. And we see the Azumarill, which is not the swap in that I really want to face, as we have some lag where we try to hit this return, and this return comes through now, and we're gonna be able to get him very, very low here already. And at this damage, I see already my opponent cannot have an XL Azumarill. This is like the main difference of XL Azumarill to like non-XL Azumarill. Non-XL Azumarill is still really decent, but the Sableye matchup was so much better for you if you have the XL version, as the return just doesn't do that much. Now I can just shield twice and farm all the way down. And as I'm knowing already that he has the Sableye, and he swaps into this, I think he doesn't have really an answer in the back anymore, and they go into their own Sableye again, as we can go for the Foul Plays, and the Foul Play should be able to get him very low, and we can get to another one. And we win CMP tie here after a lot of lag, which I don't know if it was because of lag or because we have the higher attack, but my Sableye is pretty decent, so maybe they have an XL Sableye that's like next to perfect, I don't know. But we can see here that my opponent goes for the move, and this is fine for me, as we're gonna go into our Araquanid, they go into their Registeel, we still have our Stunfisk, and they make a very smart play here, to be honest, which I didn't really think of, but they're gonna go here for the Zap Cannon, because they know they need 2 moves anyway to KO me. they need the extra damage and they cannot really take that much damage from me anyway. Like, so the debuff there does make a lot of sense. We still do a hefty amount of damage with the Earthquake here. We can go for a Rock Slide against this opponent as well, as we get him very, very low enough that our Araquanid should be able to Bug Bite my opponent down there as they go for the Focus Blast, KOing us. We can try to go for the Bug Bite. We get him very, very low. He goes into the Sableye. We just gonna debuff their attack here with the Bubble Beam. As this Bubble Beam comes through, we're gonna get the attack debuff. We can farm all the way down. They can get to another move. This a return does hurt a lot. We will see it's gonna be a foul play that does nothing to us, and we see we still have like not a good bulk, like amount of bulk anyway. So like it's gonna be even less if you have a really good AV one, which I'm definitely gonna build still. This one is mainly, of course, for video purposes, as I haven't found anything better. I wanted to make the video, so here you go. Also, you're gonna see another video most likely today, as we have the Dewpider as well, which has a lot of play in the Element Cup, and this is something that I'm definitely going to try out later on as well, so stay tuned for that. We see my opponent having here the Kaiwei Chang. They go for the Shadow Ball, as we can go for the Earthquake, and this Earthquake should do a lot of damage if they don't shield it up, but we got both shields for my opponent, and we can go into a Sableye. I'm just gonna let this go. I think they have something for the Sableye in the back, like I'm pretty sure that they have an answer for this, and they do with the Mandibuzz. As we are still going to be able to go for the return in time here. This return going to be able to do like 50% to the Mandibuzz, which is nice. As we see my opponent, here we can go still for a move, but I think my opponent gonna lag soon, and I'm just not gonna take advantage of that too much as I realized that he lags. Yeah, here for example, here we start both lagging, and I saw my moves go through and his don't, and I'm just gonna stand still here until he throws his charge move, because of course it's a friendly. I don't need to sweat off here, and like of course it's kind of annoying still for him that he got a little bit lower from me there, even if I didn't want to because the game lagged so much. But they can still get to 2 moves here against my Mandibuzz, which still makes it more difficult for me to win with the match. Of course, I could have just went for my foul play and won this, but we can go into our Araquanid, and they go into their Shadow Drapion, which gonna go straight for the crunch here. Does the crunch do a lot of damage to me? It does not even do half of my health, and here's Shadow, and my AVs are not good. We can go for the Bug Buzz. How much is this gonna do? Bug Buzz booms this thing away, and we're gonna be able to KO this thing. We still have 1 shield left, and we see the Kaiwei Chang coming in here. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna shield this up. Even though all our moves other than the Bubble Beam, but it doesn't do damage, are resisted here, I still want to get the damage from the Bug Buzz. Why? Because I have a move still stored on my G-Fizz, which gonna be able to KO my opponent here, and we're gonna finish off this match with our G-Fizz, as they still have to throw the other Pokemon against me with the Mandibuzz, and they will not be able to, as we can go for the Rock Slide, which gonna finish off this match. Good game there to my opponent. Of course, the lag was annoying, but I tried my best to not let it affect too much. As my next opponent gonna be running the NiRiain here, as the NiRiain gonna have a pretty decent time against me. They still swap out into their Sableye. I'm just gonna go ahead and no shield this. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for the Earthquake now. And if he shields us, it's fine. If he doesn't shield it, it's fine. I'm just going to go into my Sableye now, which should be able to do some nice damage against him. We have some lag again, I think. I don't know if I did more damage than him. I think it was kind of equal. I think it was on both sides pretty much the same here. So we can go for the foul play as well now, which should put him into a range where I can farm him down here, but he might be able to get to another move. Most likely, but no, they swap out here, which is fine. We can go for the foul play. And you know what? This is the main purpose of the Araquanid. Araquanid against the NiRiain. Let's see how good this matchup actually is, as we resist all the moves from the NiRiain here. How much does an Earthquake do to us? Literally nothing. We completely wall this thing. And like you see now the Icicle Spear, and we have bad IVs. Like if we had better IVs, we would even take less damage here. And we see how much, like in general, like this does. It does nothing. It's so nice. Another Icicle Spear, no problem. Let's see what they want to do now. They want to swap out into Sableye. We can go for another charge move here. Bubble Beam comes through. Bubble Beam's gonna hit. And we're gonna see the last Pokemon from my opponent, which is gonna be the Trevenant, as you're gonna see soon. Yeah, the Trevenant coming in here. We go for the Bug Buzz. My opponent gonna let this move go, which does a lot of damage. Get the defense drop, because which a lot of people don't know, Bug Buzz also drops the defense of the opponent for 30% of the time, which is pretty nice, and we should be able to win this match here with the G-Fisk at the end. So yeah, how good is Araquanid? I went 8-0. This thing nearly carried me like in general a lot of times. It is definitely worth it to get. You should definitely try, and you should definitely try hard. Like it's a long event, but it's like very difficult to get right now, as we're gonna win this last game. But yeah, thanks all for watching. See you in the next video, which is gonna be most likely somewhere in this evening with Dewpider. We have to see. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Thanks for watching. See you next video. Have a great rest of your day, and bye.